What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? All right, so here lately I put out a few videos. One was on sex, like what do you do when or like what has sex gotten you in life, you know? Um, and then I just recorded a video. The video before this one is, companions versus like relationships. Um, and this one is similar to both because it's like, what if you became irrelevant? What if the people around you became irrelevant? What would you think of them and life? And what would you think of yourself and, life? Um, I thought about that because, here I am still at the club and, I'm not dependent on anyone to be around me. There's a DJ here and he has someone dancing next to him. And I'm comparing the two of us and only this way. It's like he has somebody who has an avatar that's behind that avatar that's standing next to him. And she's dancing and listening to the music, giving them support, things like that. And, he's DJing. I don't know if they're inside each other's boxes or what, I don't know. But if I was DJing right now, I would be standing here with my Animesh companion, you know what I'm saying, standing right next to me. I can put dances inside the Animesh that will do the same type of dances that his female friend is doing. You know what I mean? Like every single dance that she's doing. If I had a copy of that dance, I could put it inside of this Animesh doll thing, mannequin, and it will be doing the same thing that she's doing. As far as the physiques are about the same. You know what I mean? Hold on, let me show you. Okay, there's physique of that Animesh. There he is, and there she is. That's something that he likes, and a lot of other people on Second Life, they like their avatars to look that way. I don't. I don't. I like anyway. So being irrelevant, it's like I don't need or want anyone to, to stand next to me while I'm doing other shit. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair at all because they log in and they're with me because they want company. And I was in that position before too. I wanted company and I stood next to someone even when they were asleep or when they were busy. But when it gets to a point when someone or something becomes irrelevant, it means you can do without it. And a thing that I'm doing without is the conversation, the humanity, you know what I'm saying? But if that person wasn't there, then I would have just that right there, like a little animesh doll. It's moving around, it's looking sexy, you know what I'm saying? Same thing as if I was here with somebody and he wasn't talking. You know what I'm saying? Nothing could be wrong. We'll be having a great damn day, but it's like I'm choosing not to talk to him. I'm doing other shit, you know what I mean? And we're not talking to each other. We could, be linked up because they got these things, look like a telephone where you can voice talk to a person, you know what I'm saying, all day and all night. Uh, Instead of being in local chat where everybody else can hear you, you can have your own private call all day and all night. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I'm not one of those people that need that type of attention. So it goes back to, what is it when other people become irrelevant? Okay, now check this out. I'm here at the club, going AFK. I changed my outfit because if someone looks at my avatar, they can be like, okay, that's a decent looking avatar. That avatar represents me. You know what I mean? So of course, I'm like, okay, I'm a male peacock. Look at my tail feathers. You know what I'm saying? Look at me. Got a little bit of bling. You know what I'm saying? But and then I got this anime doll. It's like I could be, I could have a bear. I could have a dragon. You know what I'm saying? I could have anything standing next to me. But I got this one. This is the attention that I want to have. You know what I'm saying? So what does that say about me calling everybody else irrelevant? You know what I mean? It's like, shit, I'm irrelevant to them. They didn't come here for me to see me. So they're not going to be looking at me. And I had to realize that every time I come out to a public place, no matter what I look like and no matter how well I'm trying to dress up my avatar, I'm irrelevant to other people. And here's a great example. There's a couple of people that are here at this venue, and they're on my friend list, but they're not trying to talk to me or hold a conversation with me. Right behind me, you see the young lady in the brownish purple skirt, and she's standing next to someone with the black pants and blue top. It looks like they're having a conversation. More likely, they might be having a conversation. But the young lady in the skirt, she's on my friend list. And I was standing here before her. So that means that she had to pull up to the venue, notice me standing there, but not want to say hello. Maybe she did it in local. But if she really wanted me to see it, when I didn't respond back, she could have hit me up in my private message, messenger, and be like, yo, I spoke to you in local, but when I saw that you didn't speak back, I figured you was AFK, but I just really wanted to let you know that I said hello. I saw you. You look good today. Always good to see you. Blah 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 blah. There's a lot of things that we could do if we wanted another person to know that we're thinking of them or we acknowledge them. And that's one of the things that was like a hard pill to swallow growing up. all through the years. It's like people just are not fucking with me. They're just not, I'm just irrelevant to them. And I would get into my feelings a lot. We have a thing called calling cards. And what it is whenever you friend somebody, if I friended the DJ, then my profile card, my calling card, he would get a copy of my profile card automatically. And when he unfriends me, uh, you can do it two ways. You can cut a card, which is deleting that card, trashing the card, and you'll unfriend somebody, or you just unfriend that person, but you'll still have their card in your inventory. And you can also de-render somebody. De-render means you won't hear them or you won't see them, even if they're standing next to you. You just completely muted them. You didn't unfriend them, you just muted them. You might see that they're somewhere nearby, but you won't be able to see their avatar. So I'm saying all this because to some people it matters, some people it don't. Now let's take it to a level of business. I like watching these videos. These Asian these Asian women, they'll come out to a plot of land and they'll build a home from scratch, or they'll build on to a structure that was there. And when you when I look at these women, what I'm saying, I don't know how much education they have. I don't, what I'm saying, I don't know where they picked up the skills to build. But it's one of these things where the things that they do aren't just common sense. They're not common sense. You know what I'm saying? You just don't look at an empty plot of land and be like, okay, so I need about 145 pieces of plank wood and what I'm saying, I need to, waterproof it and I need to, what I'm saying? I need to do this, I need to do that. I need to get like 15 or I need to get like 5 dump trucks of sand and stone and I need to get, like 35 bags of cement. You know what I'm saying? I need to get all these resources together. You know what I'm saying? Just just any person can't do that. It's like saying a mechanic is gonna walk up and be like, all right, I need all these resources, you know what I'm saying, to build a house without looking up anything or researching anything. But they go to a car and listen to it run or listen to it try to start over and then be like, okay, I need to check out this, 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 this. Then they'll get it running without even have to buy anything. You know what I'm saying? So I do like watching them. And I do like to wonder, where they got the knowledge. But it's not a thing. It's not judgmenting, judging them. It's not, critiquing them. It's just a curiosity. And I wish that I could do it. I wish that I could do it. I wish I had the land. I wish I was in the climate. Um, I wish I had the finances. You know what I mean? I wish I had the patience and the endurance and the stamina, the knowledge and know-how, things like, what I'm saying? It's like, no, I don't want to be them, but I like to be able to do that on my own. And I say that because there's a point, there came a point when I started thinking like, man, we gotta get away from city state government assistance. And the more and more I thought about it, more and more I talked about it, more and more I got information about that, the more and more prices began to rise. Groceries got more expensive. All these different resources uh, got more expensive. Land and all that, it got more expensive. Um, the ability to homestead, you know, got more restricted. Um, Land ownership period began to get more restrictive. Like you gotta know the right person to get a hookup, to get a break. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you gotta find a loophole, things like that. So what is it? What am I talking about compared to the whole idea of something being irrelevant? You knock out the use of realtors, contractors, plumbers, welders, uh, masonry, uh, all the people, electricians, plumbers, all the people that it takes to put together, contractors, all the people that it takes to put together a house in the United States or in most places, civilized places, you gotta have a whole team of people in order to, get something zoned, something that's gonna be correct in the city or state's eyes. But I like watching people who are living off the grid, and there's some laws that they still gotta follow. But for the most point, once you get some land, like unincorporated land, I lived on that once and loved it. I had been on unincorporated land as far as the way like visiting somebody on their land, and I was like, man, their house is junky as fuck. You know what I'm saying? But nobody can say nothing because you know they're not in a zone where they have to comply to other people's laws or rules. And so I have been growing up seeing that and loving the freedom. So when city estate contractors, all these other people are irrelevant and you have the freedom to do whatever you want on your land, build something in a cost effective way, you have a sense of freedom. You are your own royalty on your land. Your pride is there. You get to build your own garden. For lunch, I had a nice size bowl that had sliced apple, sliced apricot, mandarin, oranges, grapes. I had a banana on the side, and I had me some Miralax. And I'm like, this is an expensive ass lunch because if you look at it, in order to eat like that every day, I have to continue to buy the grapes. I got to continue to buy the apples and the pears and the plums and and the bananas just to keep everything fresh. And I have to eat everything so I don't waste it all. But that shit is expensive. And so, hey, and so to cut out the produce people to make them irrelevant, me and my family would have to. Me and my family would have to live in an area where we could grow our fruits, fruit trees, plant our fruits and vegetables in the ground, and live off of that instead of going to the grocery store. You know what I mean? So irrelevancy is a whole lot deeper than the way I started this video when I was talking about um, the way that we are with people, or our neighbors or family members or people of the opposite sex. Uh, Emotional irrelevancy when it comes down to boyfriend girlfriend relationships, comes to sexuality. You know, and this is the reason why I'm asking this question. Or here's one of the reasons why I asked this question. When things become irrelevant and your state of mind is on that, yeah, when it gets to the point where sex and emotions and all the things that we used to think was important are not important, then you start using the word irrelevant. Then it's like, my question to you would be like, do you think you will feel more at peace? Or do you think that would, make life a little bit more complicated? Is that something that you would want to strive to get to? Or is that something that you would never want to see yourself in a position to be in? You know, I have lived my life on all of those different levels of thinking. And at this point in life, being 50, celibate, single, there's things that I miss. But whenever I wake up the next day and I'm grateful for everything that I have without the things that I miss, makes me a better person than what I used to be. Because I used to go out my way to fill in those blanks. And I remember how I would get upset because it's like, man, I'm acting like I can't do without this or that. And I felt bad because made me feel weak. You know, like weak as in, how you feel strong about something. You'll fight for it. You'll argue for it. You know what I'm saying? You'll want to keep it in your life at all times. Well, when you become independent of those other desires, those other wants, those other needs that you think that you can't live without, but yet you do each time you wake up the very next day or or the very next time that you go to sleep, you wake up and you don't have those things in your life. And if you be honest with yourself, you'd be like, man, I didn't have it when I fell asleep, but my body and my mind and my spirit was comfortable enough to allow me to get some rest. I've woken up and I'm rested. I feel good. I just need to take a shit, get something to eat, wash my ass. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't even gotta wash my ass. I just need to make sure that, I take a shit, get something to eat, hydrate, bada bing, bada boom. You know, I don't like to say black people, white people. So I've been doing doing what I can to not say it, but here's a phrase that I grew up on. Um, I didn't have to do anything but stay black and die. It's the same thing with anybody else. Somebody be like, I don't have to do nothing but stay Asian and die. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you're born as, that's all you gotta be. And then, you're gonna die one day. All you gotta do is live and then die. You know what I'm saying? And it's like those are have to do's. Have to do. You know what I mean? You have to do it. But as far as having to do anything else, there's ways around it. For a person who don't want to chew or eat, well, you could always, drink your supplements. You know what I'm saying? And get full off all the supplements and all that shit that you need to stay healthy. You don't have to chew nothing. You know what I mean? But you have to put something in your system. So that's crazy. Maybe maybe by injections. I don't know. I'm pretty sure somebody will find a way to live without, without without doing it the normal way, or what we call normal. Look at all these people that meditate and they fast. You know what I'm saying? Their bodies aren't breaking down as fast as anybody else's at times, I guess. I get mad because, I get sores, pressure sores, and I'm thicker than most people. So it's like, look at this skinny ass person. How is it fair that they can sit on a rock without getting a sore on their ass? But me, shit, man, I'll break out in so many damn sores so quick. It's crazy. You could leave me on a rock for 2 to 3 hours without a sore getting ready to form up. I'm like, man, the universe is fucked up. But I'm gonna get off this video. I'm just trying to give you a lot of things to think about, so that way, it might be able to help somebody with the question of, or the question, yeah, of what's irrelevant to you. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? And once you find out what is and what's not irrelevant, then how is that going to affect your life? Is it going to affect it in a positive way or a negative way? And I'm hoping that it'll be a positive thing. My channel is all about growth. And here's my disclaimer. I'm not the smartest person in the world. I'm not the dumbest person either. I've done my research on some things. There's a lot of shit that I still want to do research on, but I think that the resources that I need to use to do research with is tampered with. I believe that there are people that don't want other folks to gain knowledge on the real shit about life. So They take all the tools that we need to do research on, and they rewrite books, and they have us trying to think in the way that they want us to think instead of in the way of truth and facts. Um, what I need you to do is to this is still my disclaimer. What I need you to do is to question everything that I talk about and do your own research on the things that I talk about. Form your own opinion, and when you form your own opinion, share your opinion with other people. Leave me a comment. Share your opinion with me. You could be like, man, I used to think about that shit, but I don't think about it as much anymore because, or anything, you know what I'm saying? And then I can respond back and be like, man, I have been there. And I try not to consume myself with it every day because sometimes I get miserable. And if you don't want to share it with me, share it with somebody that you fuck with, you know what I'm saying? That you really, really fuck with, you know? Um, out of all the videos that I put on YouTube, only people, number of people will leave me a comment. Just a number of people. And that's probably 5 to 10 people within a year. I might get 5 to 10 messages or responses, and that's spread out throughout the year. And it might just come from one person, might just come from 2 people. But I can honestly say that's only amount of comments that I'll get. And yeah, it does get to me. But the thing that affects me more is the fact that no matter if I'm saying it or if somebody else is saying it, when a person hears this shit, they're making a choice of whether they're going to let these words, these thoughts affect them in a positive way, help them grow in some type of way, or they'll just let it go in one ear and out the other. As a kid, you sit back and you're like, yo, can't sit back and say that no one ever told you something when somebody actually tried to. Well, no, when somebody actually did, but you chose not to do anything else about it. That's like with these videos. They post these videos and people watch them, but how many people are really out going out there and applying the knowledge that they're gaining? You know what I'm saying? 'Cause it's like, why else are we watching this if we're not learning what they're doing so we can actually um, do what they're doing on our own land or teaching somebody else in our own words or in our own language. So I'm gonna keep posting, just like anybody else who actually has something to say or has something to offer other people. I want to give a quick shout out, and that's the gem about waiting all the way to the end, 'cause you never know what I'm gonna say at the end. But I want to give a shout out to a young lady that I started watching recently. Okay, anyway, yeah, my internet is fucking up, but there's a young lady that I'm going to splice edit into this video, and I want you to go check out her channels, um, because or her channel because what she says you know, the things that she's talking about can really help a person out. Um, and when I was watching, I was saying to myself, I was like, self, what if she's saying that she's homeless, but yet she's not? You know what I'm saying? Like the place that she's recording could be her studio in her backyard or a rented area, a storage unit or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But she's using it as her studio. And these fake gurus, call them it out, fake Cleopatras, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter if she was or not. What I appreciate is the things that she is saying. They have a lot of truth to what she's saying. And the reason why I know is because I've had those thoughts and I gained those thoughts through my own personal experiences. I've been homeless on purpose, and I've been homeless when it wasn't my choice. You know what I mean? And I was still having these same type of thoughts, still positive and motivated. I was still talk to people in the same manner that I'm talking now. So yeah, I pushed that aside. I don't know why I said that. I guess it's because a lot of times when we watch things, if we're not careful, we'll find out later that what we were watching and agreeing to turned out to be some bullshit. Somebody just trying to get views. Someone was trying to get some attention. You know what I'm saying? Just psychotic shit, psychopath type shit. You know what I mean? And we just, they say, sheep following the herd type shit. But anyway, I'm gonna get off of here, and I hope you were able to watch the video all the way through. I know it's hard to listen to somebody ramble and shit, but when you come to the truth, come to things that your spirit is like, fuck with these words, you know what I'm saying? Like listen to these words, tune into these words, rewind it back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You got distracted, rewind it back. You know what I mean? Your spirit will guide you in that way. And when you come across these people who are helping you see life in that way or live life in that way, you gotta go with your spirit. You can't look at somebody and be like, I'm doing this because of you. And it's like, no, this is in your spirit already. You just had to get it reopened. Or, you had to wake up to it or reactivate it in some type of way. It's like the Bible is the basic instructions before leaving earth. But it's something that's imprinted in us already. It just has to be rewoken, you know what I'm saying? Because we'll tap into it and be like, the way that we agree on it, it's like, man, we agree strongly because it's like, man, I used to think this way. It's like, was that another lifetime though? Did I think about it when I was a kid? I don't know, but it sounds so damn familiar. I think it's because shit, it's just inside of us. You know, we had to get it well, we had to, whatever the fuck. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm over playing with my nasal cannula and shit. So you have a good day. You have a good night. You have a good morning. Peace. All right. So this is Jason. This is Jason. This is our channel, just called Jason's Journey. Uh, And this channel has been open since last year. And been open since 2025. She only has 11 videos up so far, but her topics are real fucking cool. Uh, she introduces herself and she gives a background of um, why does she live the way she lives? Why does she feel the way she feel? Why does she think the way she think? And she goes into detail about why she thinks the way she thinks. And so basically, within her first 6 videos, she's given us the who, what, when, where's, and why's to her life at this point in time. And so, what has me interested is that she has said several things that I have thought about before in my life. And it's hard to come across folks who do that. And whenever they do, I like to listen in to what they have to say. Motivational because sometimes there's been times when I've been trying to pass on my jewels, my experiences to other people, and they they just let it go in one ear and out the other. I don't see no improvement with their lives, as far as by the way of the examples, the by the way that the examples were supposed to have helped them type shit. Um, I've given people money, shelter, food, water, no water, things for their livelihood, um, cars, all kind of shit. But here it is today, and they're not in my life. They stopped being in my life. I say shortly after I end up giving them shit. Within a year of me giving them something, they're no longer in my life type shit. So whenever I watch her videos, I'm looking for her experiences and what she's going to do with them. So check her out. This is Jason's journey.